We have big announcements we're making today. We're very happy to be able to do that. The Community Foundation serves 10 counties across Central Texas, and we're just thankful that we're going to be able to stand here not just today with our community, but also in this long recovery period.
Well, the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country is holding a press conference this morning, and you heard it there. They are just another example of how the community is coming together to help those affected by the Hill Country floods. Well, good morning, and thank you for watching us here at GMSA at 9, and we are bringing you a live look there at the press conference that's supposed to start in any minute now. And this is at the Dallas Daugherty Memorial Pavilion about the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund.
And of course, we are continuing with our team coverage over the Hill Country floods. Hard to believe that it has been 1 week since that deadly flooding incident happened. And we know this morning that at least 96 people are dead in Kerr County alone. 36 of those are children, some unbelievable and sobering numbers. And at least 166 people are still missing. Now, overall, in the state of Texas, there are 121 confirmed deaths across the state.
And you can see that's a live look there, waiting on this press conference. I know we're waiting on a representative also, Chip Roy, who Ernie Zuniga talked to earlier, if you joined us here on the stream. But for now, we're going to go ahead and check in with Devin.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I'm right over here in Kerrville. We've made our way to the Home Depot. We have seen a lot of action from first responders, firefighters, police officers, sheriffs, deputies. There are a lot of crews out here doing some good work, but it's not only them. There are now a lot of volunteers that are getting access to some of the places that they weren't able to go to before, and they are working to help families, communities, anyone who's been affected by some of the flooding. If you take a look here, this is the Home Depot, and if you guys were able to see, Operation Blessing has been activated over there. They are a nonprofit that pops up around the country, helping people with natural disasters, helping with either volunteers, bringing equipment, resources, gear, supplies, anything people need here in town to start to help with that rebuilding effort. So there is ways for you to help if you are looking to do something in person here. They say they're going to be here every day, 9 to 5. So if you show up, you can pull up here, talk with them, and then see if there are any ways that you might be able to help. But there are a lot of other organizations doing great work over here too, including those within the community. It just goes to show that even through a lot of this hardship that's been here, the Hill Country is remaining Texas strong. I've heard it from neighbors. You can see it in town with Texas flags flying, bright colors showing people that they are going to overcome. It's just one of the reasons why these volunteers are coming out here to give their own time to help with some of the efforts going on in town. Coming up later on here at GMSA at 9, we're going to be speaking with some of those people, including first responders, and finding the people who are literally opening up their doors to give help. For now, I'll go and I'll send it back to y'all over here live in Kerrville. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Devin. Again, we are standing by for that press conference in Kerrville, which is set to start any moment now. But taking a look at live cam, a little bit of clouds out there and 78 degrees, so a little bit of a warm start just into our Friday morning.
It is, and cloudier today than we were dealing with yesterday. We got rid of a lot of that Saharan dust, so that's out of here. But we're going to start to bring some rain chances back in. More so tomorrow and into Sunday, perhaps. Let's first start with the Authority radar. There is a little bit out there. We had some showers earlier west of San Antonio. We've got a couple of a little bit of activity out there near Hallettsville and further to the east. Nothing around San Antonio or Kerrville for that matter. And Kerrville's a spot we're going to be paying close attention to over the next couple days. Partly cloudy this morning. We'll go mostly clear as we head into midday. There is an outside chance for a shower or a storm, just 10%. 94 is your high. But tomorrow, there is a bit of a flash flood risk. And I say that it is, I think we're being, very cautious here. If we see anything, it will be isolated. But Kerrville is included in that. And any additional rainfall there could cause some issues. So that's why we're being so very, very careful and sensitive to that. So yes, there could be a couple of heavier downpours tomorrow. Rain chances do come up. We're going to discuss that and those rain chances on Sunday too. That's all coming up here in just a couple of minutes, guys.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Justin. A quick check of our TransGuide traffic cameras. 37 northbound, you see a stalled vehicle right there. That is at South Cross, but traffic is still moving along that area as we give you another look here at 281 Redland Road. No major issues there. And over at 410 by Jackson Keller, reports of a stalled vehicle there as well, as we give you one more shot there at the airport. 281 Thousand Oaks, no major issues there for many of our drivers making their way out during our 9 o'clock hour on this Friday morning. Okay, so I believe we're going to go to that presser right now again in Kerrville, where they're going to be discussing memorial relief.
Will you pray with me? Creator God, gracious God, we thank you for community. We thank you for this city, this county, this region of Texas, the beautiful Texas Hill Country. We love the hills, we love the trees, we love the river, we love each other. We are experiencing profound loss and grief and a reality that's hard for the mind to comprehend. Give us the strength, the peace, and the calm to exhibit your will and your ways to all we encounter now and in the days ahead. In Christ's name we pray, amen. I would first like to start by acknowledging the profound loss and grief felt across this community. It's immense. There are no words. People have lost family members, children, pets, homes, livelihoods, vehicles, personal property, everything. It boggles the mind. There are still people missing. We don't know their whereabouts. We will persevere. The Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country is our regional charitable endowment. In normal times, we make grants to nonprofit organizations and award scholarships to students going to college or technical school. But these are not normal times. Instead, we have created the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund to raise charitable dollars from our community, from across the state of Texas, and the world to respond to the floods. We did this on the morning of July 4th, the first time we heard that there was trouble. The Community Foundation took action. In a matter of days, over 100,000 individual donors have already made a gift online, by mail, by phone, and most meaningfully to us in person by just showing up at our office to support the fund. We have heard from Kerrvillians, Texans, Americans, and people all over the world say, we are with you today. This is a moment of collective grief, but as someone who is a part of the philanthropic response, I can tell you it is also a moment of extraordinary love. Today, in the midst of what is unimaginable and incomprehensible, we are also feeling immense gratitude as we share some news. Over the last week, the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country has received more than $30 million through the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. This is an incredible philanthropic response. Gifts offered in the spirit of compassion and community to support those impacted by the disaster. There are so many people to thank, but a few I'd like to call out by name. We are grateful to our hometown grocery store, founded in Kerrville, Texas in 1905, HEB, for their $2 million donation to the Community Foundation and to our fund. Their volunteers have jumped in to provide on-the-ground hot meals, cleaning supplies, gift cards, water, and volunteer support, and we're grateful to our local grocer. We're also grateful to another company we're proud to call Kerrville home, and that's the James Avery Artisan Jewelry Company with its donation of $500,000. We're also grateful to one of our banking partners, Broadway Bank, which has converted all of its branches across its entire region into Kerr County Flood Relief Fund donation centers. We're also grateful to the San Antonio Area Foundation, our peer community foundation in San Antonio, whose CEO is sitting with us today. They have provided pro bono staff support in all functions of community foundation work to take on the volume of donations and work for today and the road ahead. Thank you, Nadej. We're also grateful to the Austin Community Foundation for its partnership. We're also grateful to the Communities Foundation of Texas, located in Dallas, who has also offered staff support, and we've been utilizing it heavily. I would also like to thank the Community Foundation staff, its Board of Trustees, and all of our volunteers who have answered the call and joined us in responding to the philanthropic response. I would also like to thank all of the first responders in our community, both local and who have traveled from very far to search for our missing children and search for our family members and keep us reunited and safe. This moment has certainly brought out the best in people. Can we give our community a round of applause, please? We at the Community Foundation understand the importance of helping people quickly after a disaster. So today I am pleased to announce $5 million in initial grants distributed across 4 areas of need, all to local organizations doing work on the ground today. We're making $1.25 million in grants available for direct support to individuals and families. This is cash assistance and food to people in need, to put money, gift cards, rent assistance, utility assistance, and other emergency needs in their hands starting today. We're also granting $1.25 million to the local businesses, both in the form of no-interest loans and in the form of emergency cash grants to sustain our small businesses who have payrolls with local residents who need those funds to keep their living and their household together. We're also donating $1.25 million directly to first responder agencies, and we'll hear more from them in a minute. They need tools, they need supplies, they need unrestricted grant funds, and that's what we're delivering to them today. We're also donating $1.25 million in crisis response. We're making a $450,000 grant to Schreiner University, who has converted its entire campus into emergency operations and dorm center for first responders. It is operating 24 hours a day. It is feeding people. It is housing people. It is reuniting families with loved ones. It is doing so much and so many others. This is only the beginning. This community, this region, and this state is not ready for the power of philanthropy that is coming to this town. We are going to do so much good because we are from Texas, and Texans step up and we handle it. These funds will be given to more than 20 nonprofits today. You can see the full list of nonprofits on our website, and you'll hear from a few of our grantees shortly on how they plan to use the funds today. They will talk about how people in our community can access these much-needed funds today. During times of disaster, it is critically important for philanthropy and community to work in partnership with government. So I am honored to introduce our United States Congressman, Chip Roy.
Well, Austin, thank you. Thank all of you for being here this morning. And just thank you to the entire community for showing up. right behind me in the park, my family comes here every year for 4th of July. We were supposed to be here last Friday. In that river right down there, my kids, when they were little, that's where we took them and where we'd be swimming and we'd be hanging out on the 4th of July. This is a center part to a time when people from all over the state, and frankly all over the country, come to this part of the country to celebrate. And we know what happened a week ago, and that tragedy is something that's going to stick with us for a very long time. It's one of the hardest things I've certainly ever had to do in my life. Last Sunday when I was here and I was going out and visiting, right up here I had some of my college classmates picking up their little girls after they'd been evacuated and brought right up here. In fact, I met them right here in this pavilion. But this is what we're seeing right now this morning from the Community Foundation. That's who we are as Texans. And I want this to be a model for the entire country, a model for the world, what it means when people of faith, people of conviction stand up to help their fellow neighbors and to help their communities. What you're seeing with the local companies, HEB, James Avery, is extraordinary. And you don't want to single those two out. There's so many that have stepped up to the plate. My phone's been ringing off the hook in D.C. from corporations in D.C. that have stepped to the plate and have contributed and have been a big part of the funds of the $30 million that Austin's talking about. And that number is going to grow. The fact that in 1 week, $5 million has already been distributed and granted through this organization is a testament to the competence and also the heart and the spirit of the Community Foundation and why it's such a great organization and why it's so important that the dollars continue to flow. People are all focused on this right now, but this is going to be happening in 2 weeks, in a month, in 6 months, in a year. We need this to continue. And so I ask for everybody watching this or that are hearing this news today, which is great news, keep it up and keep the dollars flowing and keep giving to the Community Foundation. These folks know the people on the ground. They know who needs it. And the way that they've thoughtfully distributed this in terms of people, in terms of businesses, in terms of first responders and the crisis of family reunification is extraordinary. And it tells you the depth of how much they know and understand the community. And, I'm going to stop and pass the mic over here in 1 second. But you might wonder, this hat says, if you look at it, it says, "Hi, I'm Uncle Joe." It's a line from a Robert Orkean song from Furnace Fan. We had these hats made up when he was doing his farewell tour. Well, Robert's back. He's not on his farewell tour anymore. And we're glad for it. But my point is, back when we'd listen to Robert every July 4th, and Robert's going to be doing a great concert in August, I think August 28th at the Whitewater Amphitheater. And I believe the proceeds from that are also going to go to the Community Foundation, at least in part or significantly. And I want to thank Robert and thank all of the people from the community that have stepped up, irrespective of politics, irrespective of anybody's view of the world, because this is all about being Texans. This is all about stepping up for the people that we love and just enveloping everybody in prayer. The stories that we're getting out of this and the enduring images of this is going to be those little girls singing hymns on a bus, coming back, looking at the devastation, but understanding that we get our strength through God and we get our strength from our love for one another and not from anywhere else. So thank you, Austin. Thanks to everybody who's here. We're going to rebuild. We're going to work together with the government, state, local, and federal. But importantly, the philanthropy and the support from the community and the people who love this place, we're going to rebuild and we're going to be better than ever. But right now we keep grieving and putting our arms around everybody and loving one another while we continue to do this. So thank you and God bless you. Thanks, Austin.
I'd now like to welcome Dr. Chris Avery, Chairman of the Board of James Avery Company.
Thank you, Austin. Good morning, everyone. Well, it's been a tough week. It's a somber moment, but I think it's a holy moment too. So I am Chris Avery with James Avery, Chairman of the Board. I'd like to also introduce a few people with me from the company here today. John McCullough, who's our CEO, Susan Simpson, who's our CFO, Ty Richardson, who's our CHRO, and Paula Johnson, who's our Director of Charitable Giving. Thank you. Austin, I also want to say, as Chip said, what an amazing result already with the outpouring of philanthropy from people, but your execution, getting this money out within a week. I was thinking a few days ago, we were talking about among our group, how soon is it going to be for money to get out to people who really need it? So what a testament to your organization in Kerrville. I also want to thank Congressman Roy, the whole state of Texas, Governor Abbott, all the local government officials, county, and so forth, law enforcement, first responders, fire departments. This is what crisis management, crisis response, and coordination and real leadership looks like. I mean, you all have been an example to the entire nation of how to lead through a crisis. I need these. So to all those who have been so tragically impacted by the recent flooding, all of us at James Avery are deeply sorrowful, and we grieve with you and we pray for you. I think everyone knows someone who has been affected. And like so many who are dealing with heartbreaking loss, our family too shares in your pain as we grieve not only the loss of some dear friends over this last week, but also a young beloved family member, Renee, who died while at Camp Mystic. Kerrville and the Hill Country have always been home to us. It's where my dad and mom started this business, where our wonderful associates live and work, and where our story began. Our company roots run deep. Our people, our values, and our story are all tied to this community. And we particularly have a very deep connection with Camp Mystic. My father first started making camp charms nearly 70 years ago. And in fact, our entire charm line actually began with my dad first designing and making charms for the Mystic campers and counselors. I remember going out there with him on Sundays when I was 3 or 4 years old. He would take the first designs, and the young Mystic girls, campers, would come around and start giving him input, and he'd go back and design and come back with new pieces. And visiting our Kerrville store has become part of the annual camp experience for generations of Mystic girls and their moms and dads. And generations of our own family have attended that camp since the 1950s. Yet along with all this tragedy and destruction, it's been incredible seeing such an outpouring of love, compassion, and giving. The gracious sacrifice and dedication of all these first responders, not only locally, but from all over the country. The rescue teams, the searchers, all the volunteers and companies bringing in food and supplies and equipment. And as Austin alluded to earlier, a special shout out and thank you to HEB, another Kerrville original. And what a great company and culture. For all those volunteering to clean homes and clearing land and cleaning up debris. All the donations, kind words, and support from everywhere. We are all so very grateful. And we are grateful, too, for the amazing financial support this community has received, for the tremendous response towards the Community Foundation, as well as the support of so many other organizations dedicated to relief efforts, essential needs, mental health services, repairs, rebuilding, and so on. Along with the $500,000 we are contributing to the Community Foundation, we at James Avery are also committing another $500,000 to various organizations and charities. In addition, we've seen an overwhelming positive response to our commitment to donate all of the proceeds from our Deep in the Heart of Texas charm to future aid and relief efforts. At this moment, we estimate at this time this endeavor may amount to as much as an additional $4 to $5 million that will go to the essential needs of our community and people. To everyone lending a hand, giving what they can, or simply praying for all those impacted, thank you. It matters so much. And I'll end with this. As we all know, there is so much to be done. It will take months and years to heal and rebuild, but that process has already begun. We in this hill country and throughout all the areas in Texas that have been affected by the tragedy of this flood are a strong community and people, bound by a common faith that we will be with those we love and lost once again someday. But in the meantime, until then, we will be here for each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Avery. In addition to or inclusive of our $1.25 million in grants directly for business assistance that we mentioned earlier, within that amount, we have made a grant to the Kerrville Chamber of Commerce Foundation of $700,000 for emergency cash grants to local small businesses. Their CEO is here, Mindy, and we're grateful for you taking on that responsibility. We also have the executive director of the LIFT Fund, Amy Herford, here, who is also a grantee, and she's going to explain how the LIFT Fund is also going to help local businesses. Amy.
Good morning. I'm Amy Herford, President and CEO of LIFT Fund, one of the nation's largest small business nonprofit lenders based just down the road in San Antonio. Today is not just professional for me, it's personal. My daughter went to Camp Waldemar. My twin boys are classmates of girls that passed from Camp Mystic. Like many of you, my heart is heavy and committed. We're here today to provide rapid relief to the backbone of this community, small businesses. At LIFT Fund, we've spent decades responding to disasters across Texas and beyond. Our mission is to deliver rapid, responsible capital to small businesses in crisis, because when small businesses fall, communities unravel. Small businesses are more than storefronts. They're the parents, coaches, taxpayers. They really are the backbone of every town. When they can't reopen, families move away, jobs disappear, and hope fractures. National data shows that 40% of small businesses will permanently close if they can't get access to funding within the first 2 weeks of disaster, and 25% more will close within that year. That's why LIFT Fund launched the Hill Country Disaster Recovery Fund. We have boots on the ground here, offering grants and no-interest loans. These funds are going to help businesses replace inventory, clean up damage, make payroll, and restore operations quickly. We are deeply grateful to the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country for your extraordinary $550,000 gift. Thanks to you and to generous support from other partners like Wells Fargo, Methodist Healthcare Ministries, and HEB, LIFT Fund is now mobilizing over $1.6 million in relief and counting for this community. To every small business owner and employee affected, you are not forgotten. You are not alone. We see your strength, and we're here to help you rise faster, stronger, and together. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. I'd now like to welcome Major Phil Swires from the Salvation Army, which runs the Kerrville Kroc Center here in Kerrville. They are receiving a grant to give direct financial assistance to families, and we're so grateful for their help. Major Swires, welcome.
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here today and represent the tens of thousands of individuals, groups, volunteers that have generously responded with an outpouring of love. 100% of disaster funds received by the Salvation Army are used for disaster relief. The The items and contributions that have been collected are not ours. We are just the stewards of generous Texans who have entrusted us with them to distribute to those affected by this tragedy in our community. Our mobile feeding units have been providing food and water, as well as spiritual care to first responders and those that have had their lives changed forever. Our social service office has already begun distributing gift cards, cleanup kits, shovels, and other supplies to our neighbors, also dropping off pallets of supplies and water to areas for people to come and get, and who may have lost everything. Our plan is to open a disaster assistance center where other agencies and partners can distribute through their own channels assistance from those that are items that we have received to their clients as well. We will hire case managers who will assist our clients with FEMA numbers and long-term recovery as people rebuild their lives and homes. Thank you to the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country for this generous gift. We will purchase additional gift cards and supplies to provide ongoing and immediate relief assistance on behalf of those donors. We plan to be this not only in the short term, starting on day one in a parking lot after a call at 6:30 in the morning, but to be here up to 2 years or until the need has been taken care of. Our prayer is that the service provided will help to bring comfort and compassion to those that have suffered in our community unimaginable loss and grief, so that each tomorrow may bring more hope than the day before. God bless you. God bless Texas. God bless its generous people. And may God continue to bless those who today find themselves still in grief. Amen.
Thank you, Major. Inclusive of our $1.25 million grant to first responders, we're giving $250,000 of unrestricted money to 5 volunteer fire departments in Kerr County. We know there are so many other volunteer fire departments that have come to our aid from Kimball County, from Gillespie County, our friends down the river in Kendall County, from Bandera, from Real, and almost every other county in Texas. There is more support on the way. But for today, in week 1, we made grants unrestricted to the departments that are directly adjacent to the river and directly need unlimited or unrestricted support. In addition to the $250,000 unrestricted grant to the Hunt Fire Department, we are also giving the Hunt Volunteer Fire Department a $500,000 grant exclusively to give cash assistance to people that live in the Hunt area and between Hunt and Ingram. The Volunteer Fire Department in Hunt has been devastated. And the Hunt community, if you have been out there, you can describe for yourself what you have seen. The Hunt Volunteer Fire Department, in addition to be a first responder agency, has converted itself into a crisis center, directly helping families with this assistance. And now I'd like to welcome their chief up to say a few words. Lee Poole.
Thank you, Austin. Myself, everyone in my department, everyone in the city of Hunt, I've got 2 words, and they're big words. And those 2 words are very simple, but they go a long way. Thank you. Thank you. The magnitude, the sheer magnitude of the support that we've been getting in Hunt is just unbelievable. You have to come see it to believe it. Yes, we have departments from all over the state. I've been seeing trucks from Nevada, people from out of state coming in to pitch in. My phone is ringing nonstop. We feel the love. And once again, thank you. The support for our first responders and our volunteers have just been nonstop. We receive donations, just the kindness, the generosity, people coming in and giving money out of their own pockets just to support what we're doing in Hunt to support our citizens and to help people get back on their feet. This is the Lord's work. God is present in Kerr County. God is present in people's hearts. It's obvious. We see it. We see the true generosity in people, and we thank you. Resources, operations, they keep pouring in, and we continue to need those supports. We know this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And everyone I talk to in Hunt, citizens, people that I work with, we have a goal, and that goal is to get Hunt back together, back to where it used to be, back to where people enjoy coming out and spending time together as family and friends and enjoying each other in the community of Hunt that we have. Thank you so much, Kerr County. Austin, what you're doing with the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country in support of everybody is just amazing. We can't thank everybody enough for the support that you have given us. God bless every single one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief. In addition, or inclusive of the $1.25 million that we're giving for crisis assistance, I already mentioned a grant to Schreiner University. Thank you, Dr. McCormick, and your senior leadership team, some of whom are here today. I see you. Thank you for answering the call. We're also inclusive of that grant, making grants to local nonprofits who have converted themselves into reunification centers and shelters, including the theater next door, the Arcadia. One of our beloved musical venues was a reunification center for campers and families. All of these donations have come from the public, but you need to know one story. When parents were reunited with families at Arcadia, somebody, a local high school student was helping, and one of the parents who drove from another city in Texas to pick up their daughter at the Arcadia tipped this young high school person who was running water and doing logistics at the Arcadia $40. He walked down to the Community Foundation with these two $20 bills, and he said, "I'd like to donate this to the Flood Relief Fund." That was the first donation into these grants to support these reunification centers. Churches, school districts, nonprofits will be receiving a grant of gratitude from the Community Foundation, but more importantly, from the people who have been helping. In addition, and inclusive of these grants, we're also making a $150,000 grant to Kerrville Pets Alive, who has done the gruesome task of cremating animals and reuniting animals with families. We're also making a $150,000 grant to Freeman Fritz, an animal shelter and surgery center in town, who's patching up beloved family companions and returning them where they need to go. Thank you to those as well. While $30 million has been raised, much more is needed. We foresee a 5-phase recovery plan. Right now, immediate financial assistance, which you heard about today. More will be coming. We see a second phase related to cleanup of our community. We also see a third phase of repair of our community, which includes not only physical structures, but mending our hearts and mending our minds with mental health resources that we will need in the short, medium, and long term. We also see a rebuilding phase to bring back Hunt and to bring back these camps and to bring back Kerrville to what we need it to be. And then long-term recovery after that. The Community Foundation will assemble a community advisory committee of 12 to 15 local leaders who will oversee the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund, take in information, and make data-driven and heart-led decisions about local response to local needs with these funds. We will provide another update to the community by the end of the month on our next steps with the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund and the Community Foundation's response. This is not the Community Foundation's work. This is a collective effort of our community, of the state of Texas, of the United States, and frankly, the world. People from all corners of the earth. I've talked to people in Japan, Europe, Africa, South America. We have people from Mexico helping. Everybody is helping out. Everyone is in community with us. What I've also noticed is everyone here has been transformed. Not only have our hearts been transformed, but we have physically transformed into someone new. We might have done one job before, but now we have a new job and a new sense of purpose. Everyone has become a helper, and everyone has become a hero. Thank you for your support and encouragement. You are making all of this possible for the Community Foundation to be a servant in this critical time. We encourage continued donations at communityfoundation.net. I can't thank you enough for being here and paying attention to this matter. Thank you.
We'll now go ahead and break for some interviews. So please see myself, Kat, or Matt. Raise your hands if you'd like to talk to anyone.
And if you're just joining us now, we are just coming out of a press conference led by the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. When they started, they started with a prayer, and they started talking about the profound loss that the whole community is going through, losing family members, children, and talking about the so many people that are still missing. But then at the same time, expressed great gratitude since they started the Kerr County Relief Fund. And they started on July 4th is what they told us. They have raised $30 million, and they said they have 100,000 donors who have already made that gift to the Community Foundation.
That's right, Steph. Truly a massive coordinated effort to get some help and relief, and especially funding for all these folks right away. I mean, we're talking about 7 days in the aftermath of this, and obviously there's still a ton of heartbreak out there, a ton of tragedy. You mentioned, not only losing family members, loved ones, pets, but homes, their livelihoods, things of that nature, property that several of these folks lost out there. So they kind of broke it down into a couple different areas that they're going to focus on, specifically $5 million in grants going towards emergency needs, some immediate needs there, businesses as well, because obviously small businesses right now hurting for some funding there, first responders, and also crisis response as well. So this money is going to be dispersed to several different organizations and nonprofits, and again, just a tremendous coordinated effort right now for all of those city and county officials in Kerr County and in Kerrville as well.
Yeah, a lot of that money also going to Shriner University, which has kind of been a command center, if you will, helping first responders, feeding people, and they've been open 24 hours, so some of the money will go there as well. Some of the $5 million grants are going to volunteer fire departments. They're starting, they said a grant of $250,000 going to 5 volunteer fire departments right there in that Kerr County area. But as they get more money, they wanted to provide all those volunteer fire departments who have stepped up and come to that area. In fact, we heard from the Hunt Fire Department chief, who was just overwhelmed, with gratitude, and said thank you, and just the Hunt Fire Department has been working also as a crisis center as well. Absolutely,
24 hours a day, obviously over the past couple of days or so, and they made a note of mentioning obviously 2 iconic Kerrville businesses and brands, H-E-B donating at this point $2 million to relief efforts there to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. And not only that, they've also given out warm meals, food, gift cards, water to first responders and folks there, anyone on the ground. And we saw those H-E-B, those 18-wheelers going down there in the immediate aftermath of the flooding, making their way down parts of I-10, kind of showing the convoy. And of course, James Avery donating $500,000 to the relief fund there as well. And we got to hear from Chris Avery, the son of the original founders, James Avery, obviously a very popular and iconic jewelry brand here in our area.
Yes, and he, brought in a very sad point that he also has been affected by the floods. They lost a very young family member. He said that they lost Renee, who died at Camp Mystic, and he said wanted to tell everybody, he said, we grieve with you and we pray for you. So we also, again, that was Chris Avery from James Avery Artisan Jewelry Foundation. But again, if you're just joining us, Community Foundation of Texas Hill Country announcing that big $30 million that had been raised so far. And then we also heard from Congressman Chip Roy, who says, wants people to remember that this is ongoing, and to continue to give to the Community Foundation because they know the people and they know who need this money.
Yeah, it's going to take a while, and Congressman Roy mentioning that obviously this is going to take weeks and likely months on end just to help these folks kind of get back on their feet. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Good Morning San Antonio at 9 o'clock.
Oh, welcome back. It's 9:47, and we just came out of a press conference there in Kerrville, and we want to talk about all the things that people were dealing with on that 4th of July. So imagine waking up, water rushing through your bedroom. The only thing that you're thinking at that time is to survive, and that'll forever be a memory for so many people impacted by these deadly hill country floods. But imagine trying to survive with poor vision as well, because you didn't even have a chance to get your glasses on.
Yes, something that many of us may have not thought about. Our Japhanie Gray spoke with a faith-based organization, Vision Care. It's a nonprofit here in San Antonio who are now joining the call to action so that during this kind of situation, they can have a clear vision to rebuilding.
You can't move forward if you can't see.
Right. If you can't see, you're outside of your normal. So we want to do what we can to help people get back in their normal, get back into some comfort so they can start to work and build and move forward.
When you saw the catastrophic damage that was happening and you saw so many people were basically walking out without anything to their body, what was it in you that made you say that we need to figure out how we can at least play a role in that little part?
Well, these are our neighbors. This is our community, and this is what we do. Our mission is to provide vision care for those in need, and these people, our friends, our neighbors, they're in need, whether that's using your prescription that you might have digitally or doing a quick test, getting refracted for you for a new prescription. And we have an optical shop so people can pick frames. We'll expedite that processing, so we'll get people back in their glasses as quickly as we can.
You also mentioned something about trauma that could have happened, you know, with the flood waters. You had so many people that were being rescued off of rooftops and out of trees.
All of our doctors are volunteers, and they specialize in so many different areas. And if you don't have a doctor, if you can't get to a doctor, but you feel like something's going on with your eye, if you're having some lost vision, blurry vision, we can help figure out what's going on.
You are wanting to help for a reason.
We are a faith-based organization, and we don't just say it. We want to work. We are framed to work through the eyes of Christ and the love of Christ. We want to help our neighbors. We want to do what we think we can in our small way to put that love of Christ into our community.
It's good that people are stepping up to help, and a big example, of course, the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country, who we heard from this morning. Just amazing that 100,000 people already donated. So
yeah, and every little bit helps as we continue those recovery efforts for our neighbors in the Hill Country, and hopefully they get that help here pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and so many people have already donated. You saw, the P. Terry's yesterday. They were donating funds.
Yes.
So we still, San Antonio, South Texas, Texas in general steps up in these kind of situations, and we should help our neighbors. So let's first start with a look at the big picture. Could we see more rain in the Hill Country? I think that's the big question as we go into the weekend, because there is so much work to be done. And the short answer to that is yes, there is a chance for that. We have high pressure over parts of Florida. We have high pressure over parts of California. We're kind of flanked by those heat highs. In the middle, there's still some unsettled weather. And in fact, this weekend, it kind of shifts a little bit further south. We get a trough that develops. And while I think most of the really active weather is going to be across North Texas, we could see a little bit here. And that will also be the case Sunday. Now, by Monday, this heat high starts to shift west. And when that happens, that will cause our situation to really quiet down. It will also heat up, and rain basically stays out of the picture next week because of that. So the unsettled weather will shift a little bit further west. That's kind of the general idea. Let's look at the futurecast, and this is a newly updated model. 5 o'clock today, maybe a shower or storm. Odds of seeing rain today, I think, are pretty low. But you get into tomorrow, and I mentioned North Texas and West Texas. That's where a lot of the action will be. But some of that could seep a little bit further south towards the Hill Country by, say, tomorrow evening. And so there is a chance that we could see some of these downpours. If we were to see one, it could put down some pretty good rain. So I think, again, we're kind of being overly cautious here because of the situation. But any additional rainfall would be a problem. And if that happens, we will certainly let you know. For that reason, there is a bit of a flash flood risk tomorrow in the Hill Country. On a scale of 1 to 4, this is a 1. It's a marginal risk. It's low end. But we need to mention it. 30% chance of rain in Kerrville. This is the Kerrville forecast this weekend for Saturday. 89, heavy downpour or 2 possible, especially during the afternoon. And we actually have a slightly higher risk of some downpours on Sunday. That does not mean it's going to be raining all weekend, but we just need to keep a close watch of that. Here in San Antonio, it's a 30% chance of rain Saturday, 20% chance on Sunday, so lower odds here in town. And then, as I said, next week will be a quiet forecast. As we look at the visible satellite picture, we got those cloud streets setting up, so we know we got good moisture coming in from the Gulf. A little different from yesterday, right, when we had mostly sunny skies. And you can see the mostly cloudy conditions outside. 78 right now, feels like 81, 82 in Converse, 79 right now in Bernie. And your forecast, 89 noontime, 93 at 3 o'clock, 94 at 4 p.m., just a 10% chance of rain today. And we'll be in the mid 90s tomorrow and Sunday too. 30% chance for rain, as I said, small chance Sunday, and then drier and much hotter as we get into next week. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's 9:56, and that recent devastating flooding along the Guadalupe River has also left the heart of Ingram's Community Theater severely damaged, with the building's floor collapsed and the indoor space now too unstable to enter.
Our Courtney Friedman visited that area yesterday. She brings us how volunteers are already working to rebuild that important community space.
You can see the floor has just absolutely collapsed.
Floors that for 66 years have held audiences, actors, but most importantly, neighbors. The indoor theater now so unstable after the floods, you can't even walk inside.
It's hard to look at. Yeah. Spent many years acting in that theater.
And you're a community theater.
We truly are. Yeah, it's all volunteer. You can be on stage with your dentist sometimes.
As Hill Country Arts Foundation Executive Director Sarah Tacey walked us around, volunteers from all over continued the massive task of cleaning.
And they were here just up to their chins in mud with the rest of us. And they said, we're here for the long haul with you. Back behind us was the box office, our conference room, my office.
This is your office?
Yeah.
Outside and around the corner, a tough one for Sarah.
This is our ceramic studio, and it's less than a year old. The water filled up the building and then just pushed everything out the windows.
Oh, so the water is what broke the windows?
Oh, yeah. And you can see the water line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like up to here.
Correct.
As we got closer to the river, we saw the outdoor theater.
There's usually walls.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so this was walls that were knocked out?
Oh yeah, this was enclosed.
But Sarah has heavier things on her mind.
We lost a building. It's nothing compared to the loss of life.
And with a community this small, that loss of life has touched them all. The theater Facebook page honoring their beloved members who didn't make it. These people are the reason these volunteers have not stopped working.
And we're trying to honor, the people who loved us that we've lost. We're fixing the things we can and, mourning the things we can't.
I've seen the effort that's been put in here, and I know that you guys will rebuild.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just going to take money.
Yeah. So you're hoping for that help.
We really are. Yeah.
And that was our Courtney Friedman reporting. So in response to the devastating 4th of July floods, KSAT 12, KPRC, and our parent company, Graham Media, which owns our TV stations across the country, have united to launch an urgent donation drive called Together for Texas. And if you'd like to help, you can scan the QR code on your screen, and that campaign aims to support relief and recovery efforts for the families severely impacted by this disaster.
And as we've been reporting throughout the morning, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump will be coming to the Hill Country later on today. So in just a few hours, the White House telling us the president will visit the areas hit hardest by the floods. He will be also in Kerrville and meet with survivors and first responders as well. So we don't know exactly how long the president will be here. We're told it'll be for a few hours at least. Trump has pledged to provide whatever relief that Texas needs to recover. We will stream this obviously on air and online.
All right, well, stay with us online and also at ksat.com, and we'll see you at noon.